So I just created a full ad and I spent $50. And 5 years ago, that would have cost me probably like $10,000.
I only have one question.
What?
Was it my $50 you spent?
It was.
You are listening to the AI Convergence podcast, where AI, business, and mindset converge.
Welcome to the AI Convergence podcast, where AI, business, and mindset converge. My name is Matt Aponte. I'm the founder and CEO of Vox AI.
Trey Mossman, CTO at Vox AI.
And I'm Christian Kambarov, the head of media and content here at Vox AI.
We still got to get, the rotation right on that. We'll figure it out.
We can do it again.
We're still figuring it out, guys. This is good. This is episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah. So in our first episode, we talked about the consciousness shift when robots take your job and how that might be a good thing. We went pretty deep. That one was like an hour long. Yeah. So we're going to be trying to condense these a little bit more. This one might be 20, 25 minutes. But today in this episode, we're talking about how AI and content creation, right?
Yeah.
Demolishing creative barriers and what that means for everyone, from solo entrepreneurs to major brands. And this is the most excited we've been about a topic yet, because it really does affect what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and jump in.
I'm pretty excited about it. Being on the content side, I mean, it really democratizes creativity. Like anybody can be a creator nowadays. Anybody can create an ad. And especially, big media agencies or, small businesses that can't afford to hire media agencies to make their creatives, they could do it themselves. I did a test run. I made an ad campaign for us here at Vox. It was catered to roofers, which is one of the home services that we provide our services for. And I just went through kind of a course, learned how to generate AI images, to animate those, create the story behind it. I used, some of my editing skills to cut it together. And after about, 3 to 4 days, I had a full-blown ad that would have taken thousands of dollars, hiring actors, or, in this case, it was more animated. So it would have been, a visual effects artist or animations artist or something like that. So pretty awesome and crazy. I used ChatGPT for the images. I used ElevenLabs for the voice, which ElevenLabs is free up to a certain amount of credits. You get a limited selection of voices, but that's fine. And then Kling to animate it, which is super cheap. It's like $20 a month. That's all I needed. So it was pretty awesome. And we'll be running that ad soon, and we'll see what kind of return we get. The ROI is going to be crazy on something like that.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you put a clip of the ad so people can see the whole thing right here in the video, for those of you who are on video. Because, some people might be watching this and being like, oh, well, VO3 and Sora's come out and been out, kind of a thing, and you can do anything. Like, the content creation has been, and that's actually not true. Like, content, like, we were one of the first adopters of creating content, image, video, etc., of AI, but to do it at a commercial level to where it was good, dependable, it just wasn't there yet. And now, because even what you made, I do not think would be possible in Sora or VO3 as the way that it wouldn't be possible. So the and again, you have to watch the commercial. It's very complex, and some people might be like, "Wait, it took them 3 days." Again, look at it. Think of it as kind of like stop animation, right? Like you take one line from the script, and then you create a scene, and then you add animate it, and then you put another. So there's a lot, and then there's sound effects and all kinds of stuff. VO, voice, whatever. So can you go into VO and Sora now? And what's the other one?
There's like Higgsfield,
Higgsfield.
Kling.
Where's the one? There's another one. I'll think of it. It's actually pretty good. These are like pretty low barrier to entry, meaning cost places. And can you create really high quality videos and stuff like that? You can. But when you're creating them at the level that we create them, which is hitting all of the psychological points that are very high converting, that has not been possible, well, until now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. It does take, a creative eye. Like you definitely can't just post something right out of the box and have it be successful. Yeah, like you were saying, Matt, there's got to be some special effects added. You have to have some editing skills because you can't just, clip these together and have it make sense. And you got to be able to tell a good story. So I think that those are key things that you still have to have a skill set in to make these successful. But, the barrier to entry is really low. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
Because we've tried, I mean, how many times have we tried having AI, Chat GPT or something, create a VSL that really like hits high conversion, and it'll kind of get there,
Mhm.
but you got to push it and push it and push it and push it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have tried to, like create an amazing, content or ad or whatever. And maybe if you're not in the space, you're just a regular business owner and you're not, have years of marketing, you're probably like, oh, that sounds pretty good. But you have to understand, I'm just trying to like draw the correlation here. Like what we're doing is we're professional level, high conversion marketing, et cetera, and just
Mhm.
AI has not been there yet until now,
Mhm.
which is why we're talking about this.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what
absolutely.
does this mean for, solopreneurs?
Well, solopreneurs can now create like agencies. They can take a concept that they have, and maybe if they, I think on average, small businesses make less than 50,000 a year. You might know that fact better, but that doesn't give you much margin to hire an agency, a creative agency, to do that because it's expensive. It's thousands of dollars. So yeah, if you have a concept and all you really have to do is give your time to learn how to make these, AI pieces of content, videos, images, etc. If you're, selling a product, you just throw that into Nano Banana Pro or whatever's out right now, and just be like, I need a product photo shoot for this exact item. Upload the picture, and it'll give you a whole storyboard of pieces of content that you can use for product shots if you're e-commerce. So, I mean, it's amazing what it can do. Yeah, it's really exciting. As a solopreneur, I'd be super excited to be using these tools and investing in them. I mean, for less than $100 a month, you can have a whole creative agency at your hands.
Yeah. In video AI. That's what
Oh
it is.
yes, yes.
In video. They've been around for a while. And they've been one of the earlier ones to adopt AI into their systems, and so they have a Sora, I
Mhm.
think a Sora and a VO3 version. But yeah, I mean your stat is accurate. Like most solopreneur business owners, like they make around 50K, 60K a year.
Mhm.
The amount of businesses that make, excuse me, more than $1 million a year, the amount of small businesses that make more than $1 million a year is less than 5%.
Wow.
So like that's a lot. So 95% of all small businesses make less than $1 million a year. And if you're up in that area, 750,000, $1 million a year, 1.2, chances are you have a team, you have overhead, so those business owners are still making only maybe $80,000 a year,
Mhm.
maybe $100,000 if they're lucky. Um, and so like a tool like this is super powerful. So the excitement is, I know for me, like I've been in content creation pretty much my whole life. And my first one of my earlier businesses was in photography, video production. And to be able to do the stuff that we can actually now finally do now has been, it's really cool. And I'm thinking that if back then, if I had these tools, I would be charging people the same amount of money or a little bit less but being able to fulfill at a much higher level.
Mhm.
Because that's where this is really exciting. Like anybody can go and they can use AI, create a script, blah, 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 throw it in there, and you'll come out with something pretty decent. But for those of you in the content creation world who are really good photographers or video producers and you know how to tell a story and you know how to do those things, now you can just really 10x and you can really boost your agency. Yeah, so like you said, no more begging for budget approval or anything like that. And
Yeah.
um,
Matt, please.
yeah,
Can I
like okay,
can I buy this new camera?
I know I didn't even have to prove the
I'll do that anyway.
$50. That's cool. So
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, Trey, what do you think? I know on the technology side of things, it's pretty exciting. I know you kind of had a podcast back in the day where you use like Descript and all that stuff to create content. So
Yeah, so I was doing research, and 24 months ago, this stuff was science fiction, being able to do this. And the crazy thing is we're getting updates like that would take years and every month. So like every month we're getting these new things, new capabilities. But the most important thing right now currently is the AI can do like 80% of the work in 10% of the time. But if you really want that true quality that Matt's talking about, you want to take it to the next level, you still got to do that extra 20%. And that's where the human aspect is. But the good news is for most small businesses, that 80% is actually good enough for them. Maybe more than good enough. And when you talk about a full AI stack for your content in under $200 a month for everything, it's insane.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Even if you don't know, like if you're just overwhelmed by, because there's a lot of content creation tools that are coming out now, and it's just a flood of things. But just taking the time to do that research and learn is going to save you so much money over the course of time. And it's just a good skill to have. It's like, even if you're not a solopreneur, but learning these things to be able to add these services to, for people and give them that benefit is great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like, I think what you said is really true. Like the quality that you're able to get now is more than good enough for 80% of business owners. And it's even better than I would say 70 to 80% of the content creators that are out there. Like, I mean,
100%.
we've both been in the industry for a long time of content creation. And we've seen videos where people are like, oh, I paid $10,000 for this video. And we're like, you got ripped off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bad. So yeah, I mean, now like voice cloning, you can clone voices, image generation, video generation, music generation. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. But before we move into this next final piece, I do want to kind of like give a suggestion to the because there's a ton of content creation platforms out there. So then you have this analysis paralysis. Like, well, which one do I use? My suggestion, which is the approach that we take, and it allows us to just move forward very quickly, is you find a platform that's one of the leading platforms in the space, one that's doing a good job of showing continual updates, and you just stick with that one until you have really, really good reason to move and go somewhere else. You stick with that platform, you use it, because the most important thing is ironing out your procedures, your process of development. And then once you get that, you can apply that to pretty much any platform. So I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Because it gets overwhelming. But yeah, stick to one. They're all competing with each other anyway. And they all catch up to one another at different levels. They all have different strengths. So stick to one, learn it, and become proficient at it. And you can translate that to anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is going to help a lot with your mindset, because a lot of people are like, well, I need to do marketing, but, it's expensive, or I just don't know how to do it, don't know where to start. If you started a business and you don't have a team yet, and you didn't understand the fact that you're going to have to wear 20 hats at once until your business gets to a size, well, then you either need to just be happy with where you're at, or sorry to be kind of like the the tough dad, but get out of the game, right? You're gonna you gotta learn these things. Now, if you're one of those people, now you have the ability to be able to do that at very low cost. And so that barrier to entry, at least that effect that it has on your mindset, has been removed. So maybe this is something for people who wanted to start a business that was, maybe largely content creation focused, right? But maybe fulfillment was a big challenge of for one of their things. Maybe we're a solopreneur, video editor, creator, or whatever. Now you can actually go in. I mean, you have these tools that can, cut your dev
Yeah.
time, your fulfillment time by 80%, etc. So I think this is will help with a huge mindset shift too of like, I don't know what to do, or I'm not good enough, or I don't have the right tools, or I can't create good enough quality that I want. You don't have to hire anybody, at least not yet. And so this really moves you from the whole scarcity of like, I can't, I don't know, I shouldn't, to empowerment, right? Abundance mindset, to where you're like, oh wow, like I can do this. This is empowering. I have the ability to do this. So then it's like from permission to experimentation, like those types of things. So what are the implications of this?
So a lot of the implications of anybody being able to make content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a big one too. It's you can see all the AI slop that's out there. Um, so yeah, anybody can create content, but I think what's really going to differentiate people from the norm is taste. You got to have that ability to tell a story. You have to know how colors flow together, words flow together. The arc of a story, like what does that look like when you're creating content? Visually, like aesthetics, you still got to prompt these things. So you can't be like put a t-shirt on the floor and make it look cool. It's like put a t-shirt with a little bit of wrinkles and some shadow and all this stuff. Like those details only can come from somebody that's still well tuned creatively and will allow people to stand outside the pack. So yeah, so there's still going to be a lot of human elements, like you mentioned, Trey, a lot of human touch, and I think it's going to be like that for a while with AI. So
Yeah, and I think, I mean, ever since smartphones, like what was it, iPhone 11 or 12? I don't even know when like the really good camera came out.
mhm.
But I remember in a Samsung Galaxy S6, like way back in the day, me and my partner at that time, we created a training tutorial of how you could take that video, that camera, and make a professional quality video. And it was less about the tool and more about the process. My point to this is that the technology, camera technology, has been around forever. We can take amazing images at a very low barrier to entry. Everybody has an amazing camera in their pocket.
Mhm.
But look at the content, right? Has that made all content on social media and YouTube better? No. Like we've all seen videos to where we're just like, this sucks.
Mhm.
Let's go to the next one, right? And it's because it's not the tools, it's the person that's creating the content. And so the same thing happens now. Just because these tools are super empowering and allow you to do really cool stuff at a very low barrier to entry, just like what you said, it still takes that human touch, that experience, that's going to still be able to see the difference between, wow, like you saw, like the commercial you saw at the beginning of our podcast, like from, I've never seen anything like that before, that's really freaking cool, to like, okay, run of the mill,
Yeah.
excuse me, run of the mill content stuff.
Yeah, just as an example, I think Coca-Cola, they did a AI ad last year at the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. They're doing another one this year, but I was doing some research into it, and they generated 70,000 clips for that one video.
Wow.
So it
Yeah.
still takes a lot, and
Yeah.
it's probably because you got to regenerate the clips, you got to position characters, things like that. A company like Coca-Cola, they need this ad to be perfect, especially if they're
Mhm.
spending millions of dollars to advertise at the Super Bowl. So I thought that was pretty cool and fascinating. But,
Yeah. And they still got criticism from it.
yeah.
Did you hear
Yeah.
about that? Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how much it takes this year. Because
Mhm.
remember last year, ChatGPT couldn't keep characters.
Oh yeah.
If
Mhm.
you had a
Mhm.
character, every image, it was like a new character.
Yeah, it was slightly different or a
Yeah.
completely different person.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go from
And
like a blonde white woman to like an Asian woman. You know what I'm saying?
so that didn't happen until earlier this year,
Yeah.
like
hmm
summertime.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, that
chat all of a sudden
persistence.
that one update, it was actually
Mhm.
able to have that persistence. And even then, you go long enough, and then it's lost a character again. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts to degrade a little bit and you lose like the look. So yeah,
yeah,
there's still a lot of improvement that needs to be made, but it's getting better daily.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think societally this will have an effect? How will this have an effect on a society?
Well,
Just
we've talked about this before. I think out of all the things that that people are afraid about AI, my this is the one that actually kind of it doesn't scare me, but I'm most concerned about, right?
Mhm.
Misinformation. We've been
mhm,
dealing with that forever.
Mhm.
But now when you can create somebody on doing something that never happened, spin it to so it looks like a news reel or a feed or whatever. I've already seen it happening. I've
Yep.
already seen it happen on social media. So that's my biggest thing. It's like because the biggest controllers of society are media and social media.
mhm.
A lot of kids these days, and I say kids because I'm 46, so I can say kids. A lot of these kids these days get their news from social media, and that is scary, right? Because now that you're just whatever. It's like, oh my God, there was an alien spaceship, over Colorado Springs. And we're like looking out, that never happened. But now, it's people are freaking out and whatever, and
Yeah.
Cheyenne Mountain this and NSA that, all
Oh,
that kind
yeah.
of stuff. So that's the part that concerns me the most. And there will be a time very soon, it's already happening, to where we won't be able to tell the difference, from what is real, what isn't. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of that's one of the concerns there.
Yeah. It looks very real. I don't know if you've seen that picture circulating lately of like a bunch of like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, a bunch of billionaires, Tim Cook. They're like standing in a circle in a parking lot. Elon Musk is smoking a cigar, and it looks so real. And then it transitions into them at like a dorm party, and there's a bunch of college kids behind them, um, and then it goes into one of their dorm rooms, and like Sam Altman's like eating a pizza on the floor, and like Elon Musk is smoking weed on the bed, and it looks so real.
Yeah.
I had to, had to take a second look at that, but
Yep.
it's getting crazy.
Yeah. Um, from the empowering side, because we'll start wrapping up here in a
Mm,
moment. I think let's not get and speaking to the listeners, viewers, let's not get so wrapped up in the what could go wrong, and let's focus on how can I use this to um, create better quality content for my business.
mm,
How can I use this to spend 2 hours a week on content whenever I was paying somebody to spend 10 hours a week on content and it still wasn't that great, right? Like I just came from a meeting where the ability to be able to connect Canva into ChatGPT, took this one CEO. He was just like, I used to just tell people what I want and they would make it. And then I come back, I'm like, no, that's not what I want. Do this. And then like 3 days, 5 days, 2 weeks later, we finally get what we want. Now he says, I just tell ChatGPT what I'm looking for. It creates it in Canva. It gets to 80% there. Then I give that to my team. And then a day or two later, it's done and ready to go.
Mm.
So like just think about the empowering things
mhm.
that you can do, um, and really just how you can use it more effectively.
Yeah. So I guess some practical things that small businesses can utilize when it comes to AI content. Um, use AI for efficiency. You can A/B test a bunch of pieces of content. If you're unsure about what kind of ad you want to run, create several versions of it, create different hooks. A/B test that. Your face, your opinions, still matter. So like you can implement that and integrate that into your content. You can be transparent still with your audience. Knowing your target audience is going to be helpful when creating content. Allows you to experiment, and allows you to really help you know your mindset with embracing these tools. So those are some practical, I think, ideas and applications that small businesses can start taking when generating AI content. So anything else you guys
Yeah,
can think of?
we started out, it used to cost 10, 15,000 for like 2 to 3 pieces of content. Now you can make 20 to 30 pieces of content
Mm,
for like what we talked about, $200 a month or whatever.
yeah.
Um, and that empowers you to try so many different things and see what works. And that's really what is fueling the click-through rates and all the ROI that the research suggests. Like JP Morgan and Persado had 450% click-through rates
Wow.
increase.
Oh wow.
And all they're doing is just using so many different pieces of content to test which is best,
Hmm.
and they run with that one. And then again, so 60% of Fortune 500 companies are using ElevenLabs.
Mm.
So if they're using it, you should probably be using it too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because not only is it super cost efficient, but
Mhm.
we all know how powerful ElevenLabs is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. It's
Yeah.
really cool. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
It is.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what do we say? We kind of wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Land this plane.
Yeah. So basically, we're living through the most democratizing moment in creative history. These tools that used to cost tens of thousands of dollars, I know in my time are now, just dollars, like 10, 50, $100. And they used to require teams of specialized people to be able to do things, and now you can do it by yourself. Yeah, I think that that is really empowering, especially to the solopreneur, especially to the small business owner. If it's just you and yourself, or you and one other or two other people, it's really incredible. And but this is really kind of like the belief system that we have with that, the businesses that are going to win, they're not going to be the ones with the fanciest AI tools. Again, I teach AI classes every single month, and I tell people this: AI is a tool. At the end of the day, it is always going to be a tool. Even 5 years from now, when robots are running around and everybody has their own AI implanted in their brain, 10 years from now, it's still a tool.
Hmm.
And so the person that knows how to use those tools with a very clear strategy and authentic values and genuine expertise are the ones that are going to rise to the top, the ones that are going to win. And so if you're a small business owner, you want to figure out how to leverage AI for content without, losing your authenticity, because that's one thing I hear a lot.
Yep.
Well, how do I create this while keeping my brand voice? Well, how do I create this while still being authentic? Or if you just really want to understand, what the hell is happening, and keep up with all that,
Yeah.
then we do run workshops here in Colorado Springs. So you feel free to reach out to us and ask about those. They will be on the website here at some point as well. And if you are local, I do teach an advanced AI training class once a month at the Better Business Bureau. So go check out the Better Business Bureau of Southern Colorado there. But we're going to be rolling out more assets and resources for you people out there that are really interested.
We had a big deep dive into subconscious mind shift.
Mm,
And I thought that would be a good one to dive into next
Ooh,
week, because
yeah,
okay.
that took up like 30 minutes of a
yeah,
2 hour
yeah.
podcast.
So that one might be a 45-minute
Yeah.
podcast. All right. Well, thank you
Sweet.
guys. Until next time, this is the AI Convergence podcast. And, again, it's our goal to help you identify what's useful, what is real, and what's powerful to help you as a small business owner or high achiever to be able to ethically and responsibly implement AI in your business, in your life. See you next time.